Is there a way, a foolproof plan that will not only get you the funding you need for your startup, product, or new business, but will also get you closer to success than you ever imagined? Well, there is, but the answer is a little bit odd.
Well, what about Microsoft? The only problem with Microsoft is they just have no taste. They have absolutely no taste, and what that means is, I don't mean that in a small way, I mean that in a big way.
So tap the like button and we'll talk about competition. Yes, competition. The absolutely essential thing to get you closer to a success. Hi, I'm James Callahan, and this is the Do-Over Show, where we actually love competition, not so secretly. We love it when other people do the work for us, when other people take the risks ahead of us and we get to learn from them. But wait, you're thinking, I don't want competition. I want success. I don't want anybody else in my area, in my field, in my market. I just want to be there all on my own so that I can stand out and succeed. But that's not the way success works in today's world. So here we are with part 6 of our 30-day challenge, 30 ideas, in-your-face questions and topics that you have to tackle in order to be successful in not only getting your funding, but getting your funding to work for you and get you closer to success. And number 26 of our 30 in-your-face ideas is there has to be a market for what you want to do. If there's no market for your solution, there's probably a reason. No one wants it. You have no reason for starting something. No market might be the easiest way to tell if your product, service, or organization just isn't going to work. But I know what you're thinking. Maybe I'm early. Yes, the synonym for early in the startup world is wrong. No market might be the easiest way to tell if your product, service, or organization really has a chance of success. And that takes us to number 27, the opposite extreme. Is your market oversaturated? If there are dozens and dozens of people doing almost nearly exactly the same thing that you were proposing to do, then that means the market probably won't have room for you. If everyone else is doing what you say absolutely needs to be done, produced, or championed, that's the kind of oversaturation that we come up with, well, maybe a special reason like lower price. And then we're in the commodity business, not in the virtuous and unique startup business. Just think Walmart. So if you're committed to opening up the 16th coffee shop within a square block radius, the question is not whether or not you should do it. The question is, how do number 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, you get the idea, how do they even survive?
Good morning. Can I take your order?
Can I get a tall chai?
A large black coffee.
A what?
Large black coffee.
Do you mean a venti?
No, I mean a large.
He means a venti. Yeah, the biggest one you got.
Venti is large.
No, venti is 20.
Danny.
Yeah. Large is large. In fact, tall is large, and grande is Spanish for large. Venti's the only one that doesn't mean large. It's also the only one that's Italian. Congratulations, you're stupid in 3 languages.
And number 28, that means that market saturation is our easiest tell about whether we should move forward now or at a later time, or not move forward at all. Ignore that at your own peril. And please, be realistic about being better, nicer, localer, fresher, anything that you think will distinguish what you're going to do from everyone else that's already doing it and competing on the thinnest of margins in your market. Now, in real estate, the idea of similar businesses being close or proximate to one another actually draws or attracts attention. That's not oversaturation. But if you put 100 of them on the same block, that's oversaturation. Pay attention to the saturation level of your market in your area for the product or service you're going to offer, and ask whether or not you're going to be fighting for better market share or the slimmest of margins. So number 29, that means that competition is actually your really good friend in the startup and entrepreneurial world. There are too many startups that ignore this, and they fail when it was obvious right there that we could see it if we took our eyes off our mission statement long enough to look at what was happening in our market. Learn to appreciate what others are doing, learning from them, even complimenting them. So get to know who is doing what's similar to what you want to do, not in order to insult them, not in order to say, you see, I do that better, but in order to learn from them. Let them work through the difficulties and the problems, and let them show you whether or not there actually is room for your idea, your product, your service.
Microsoft's orbit was made possible by a Saturn V booster called IBM. And I know Bill would get upset with me for saying this, but of course it was true. Mm-hmm. Much to Bill and Microsoft's credit, they used that fantastic opportunity to create more opportunity for themselves. I am saddened, not by Microsoft's success. I have no problem with their success. They've earned their success, for the most part. I have a problem with the fact that they just make really third-rate products. And Microsoft's just, it's McDonald's. So that's what saddens me.
And that brings us to number 30 in our 30-day challenge, and that is let them do the hard work for you and learn from them. Stop reinventing the wheel or doing the same thing but doing it in your special way because you're that much better or they're really messed up. Your competition is one of your best friends in your startup. They've spent on marketing, made mistakes, created a community of support and loyalty, or they've alienated an entire community. Is the community that they have alienated big enough to sustain what you want as market share? And are you really interested in picking up the malcontents that competitors have created in your area? Is that your goal? Is that your demographic? Is that your target audience? Embracing the idea of competition and the friendliness that it involves is probably the shortest, easiest path from your funding to success if you can embrace it. It's one of the fastest ways to get traction in your startup, avoiding their mistakes, benefiting from their marketing spend, and doing what entrepreneurs do. A good entrepreneur takes things that exist, that are already there, and puts them together in a way, in a market, that creates a new opportunity. And knowing what that opportunity will look like comes from understanding what has been tried, what has failed, and what has succeeded. It comes from knowing what the competition has accomplished. And there you have it, 30 tough, in-your-face questions and problems that we need to solve, we need to address if we're going to make our way from our ideas, our passion, our mission, to the funding that gets our product, service, or organization off the ground and giving it traction on the road to success. And thanks for being part of the Do-Over Show. And please tap the like button because it really helps. And while you're down there, subscribe and ring the notifications bell so you don't miss an episode of the Do-Over Show every Monday and Friday. I'm so glad you found me, and I found you. Thanks.